Hello YouTube, this is Valkyrie D Queen here with a overview of Eden Zero's chapter 109 and 110. So 109 is called Red Cave. You get a very beginning clip of Shiki Oyo Cosmos behind him. And you go back to Nadia, which we found the dead human writing Nadia, the love of my life. And everyone's surprised to see person, and she explains the hospitality that she's an android of an old model android, and they're asking about clues of finding mother, and she says yes, there is clues of finding mother here. Wonderful. Wait a minute, who exactly are you? And she explains that she is the guardian, and she's built to protect the mother's beacon, a treasure of mother, for the past 200 years. And people are shocked. 200 years, you're a real veteran as an android. And she explains there was a treasure that was guarded that was lost long ago. And the treasure has a clue, and she's like, well, there's still a clue of finding mother. You don't necessarily need the treasure to have that clue about finding mother. But they are related in some way. We find out that she is stuck on this cord because she falls flat on her face. Nadia falls flat on her face about that. And she's explaining more that she's an old model, and explaining more that if you do these trials within this cave and you don't think you can return, please turn around and return immediately, because she doesn't guarantee that you would survive this ordeal to get the information or the clue for mother in this cave, in this path and doorway in this temple. And people are shocked, no one's stopping us. They go through the cave, and it's a normal cave door at first, and then suddenly it looks like a normal cave when they first walk in. Rebecca, Shiki, Wise, Pino, and Happy, and Hamura, and then Hamura starts profusely sweating, and because she's super hot, and she says, no, this is training, so she keeps going forward, and then everyone else starts feeling the hot, and then suddenly you see the whole cave is erupted in flames and fire everywhere, and it knocks poor Hamura out, and it starts melting off people's clothes, both male and female, and the robots, Happy and Pino, can hardly stand it. Shiki tries to go forward with his gravity gear to go more, and there's just flames field following him everywhere, and he can't stand it, so he turns around, comes back, and gets everyone to leave the cave because it's too much flames for him. And Nadia greets them back, welcome back, and they're upset. They tell him, why didn't you warn us about that? But she did. She kind of said, go in your own peril, basically, and if you don't feel like you can go through with it, turn around immediately. So she does warn them. But they're also contact Sister Ivy and Hermit, Shiki and Rebecca, and explain the situation, and they ask for Witch, and they say Witch isn't here. Witch took the Eden Zero back to Blue Garden, and why? And then we suddenly cut back to the Eden Zero at Blue Garden. You see Blue Garden, very beautiful. You're at this big theater, and she's watching a play, and this man, an actor, and everyone's acting, and it's a love song, da 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 da. And she's clapping, and she's in the crowd watching this theater. In the back, she approaches the male actor and tells him, it's been years, but I haven't seen your face. She has Jin and Colleen with her as well. And they also say they recognize her. And suddenly, this digital face comes about, and you see Laguna. Hersit, spirit of water. And they say, but today I have come to visit a friend. So Witch calls him a friend now and is not very hostile towards him. That's the end of 109. So we go into 110. And we see, of course, Pino and Happy. They're so cute. And the front cover page. And we're into 110. And you're back at the temple. And they're saying, oh, she's taking her time. Witch is taking her time, huh? And they're asking more about the clue about Mother. What's at the end of the cave? It's like a bad map. There is something you must discover for yourself. And Nadia doesn't give much information. She says you just need to discover it for yourself. But I want to know. Come on, tell us. And they're trying to bug her and tell us. And it is a secret. I am an old model after all. And she has this joke going on about her Nadia has this joke going on about her that she's an old model. So the robots outside, she asks about the robots outside, and she explains ever since the treasure, that is a certain treasure guarded by the land and worshipped in ancient times, since it's been gone in the past, since it's been gone, it doesn't really have the power to power these robots anymore. And the only reason Nadia is powered is because she's connected to a cable. She says 200 years ago there was a treasure that radiated, and once it was gone, all the robots were shut down. Throughout the chapter of 110 of Eden Zero, we of course learn about the treasure and how it powered all the androids, and when it was stolen, it shut it down. There was a human engineer named Andrew, and he used to be here conducting maintenance on the androids, and he was very kind and very mischievous. We also learned that Nadia and Andrew fell in love, and that he left a long time ago to go find the treasure. She states that was 200 years ago that Andrew left, and Rebecca finally makes the connection that that's the human that fell down in the ship that's dead, that says Nadia, the love of my life, within the ship. And she realizes that, and realizes that Nadia is still waiting for him. And people are in awe with that. How sweet, what a lovely romance. But Shiki almost says that humans don't live that long, and she shuts him up about it and just lets her have her happiness. Just explaining and recounting that the treasure is lost. They don't really know what the treasure is, but they know the clue is still there for Mother, not the treasure. And then Witch shows up with Laguna, and they're surprised by that, but she says she reassures them with negotiations with Lady Camille and Jin for help and assistance. And there was a condition. We still don't know what that condition is. And they say that you need his water and his experience to get it, and wheezes against this idea and does not like it and expresses displeasure with this. Rebecca also is a little disgruntled and displeasured, but she also mentions that he was one of the most nicer ones out of Dark and Joe's group. And Shiki's okay and asks, oh, can we be friends now? In a Shiki-like way. And Nadia's like, oh, how wonderful, another human and an android. And they go into the red cave, and it starts melting Witch clothes, which she's only in a bathing suit, and she is slightly embarrassed. And Laguna uses his tear magic to make, of course, Shiki cry. He turns into water, and Witch uses her shield ability to maintain his shape, and he can move his gear ability to move forward so he's not burned by the flames. And he goes rushing through, and then at the end, he looks around. It looks like a normal room, and suddenly a swirl of ether goes about, surrounding the room. Who's there? Shiki says, looking around, wondering where in this chamber they are. Someone's talking about what was been lost, but the ether is still there. The ether's swirling, and says, follow this ether, and it will show you how to find me. I am the matriarch of the cosmos, and it shows I am Mother, and it shows a picture of Mother. And that is the end of chapter 110. Thank you very much, YouTube. I hope you liked this reading and basically a brief through of these two chapters. The next two chapters I will also give a brief read through or a brief understanding of what's going on. Thank you very much. Like, comment, and subscribe down below. Bye, YouTube.